Welcome to another tutorial. The topic we are going to be exploring is also coming from biology field. And the topic is unicellular organisms. Unicellular organism. When we talk of unicellular organism, we have to flash our mind back to the division of organisms. And the division of organism is organism can be divided into two divisions, that is unicellular organism and multicellular organisms. So when we talk of unicellular organism, we are referring to organisms that are made up of one number of cells alone. And when we talk of multicellular organisms, we are referring to set of organisms that are made up of two or more number of cells. So class, example of a unicellular organism are mostly microscopic organisms and other lower organisms. And examples of a multicellular organism are some of higher animals and other microorganisms. So they are the examples of multicellular organisms. So class, the life of unicellular organism is very important for us to grasp some facts about the nature and how they exist. So when we talk of unicellular organisms, how can we give a clear definition of this set of organisms? So unicellular organisms are a group of organisms that are made up of only one number of cells. And any organism with one number of cells, we call that organism unicellular organism. And these particular organisms have a large surface area to volume ratio and rely on simple diffusion to meet their needs. An example of unicellular animals or organism is Amoeba. So though we have many unicellular organisms, we have Amoeba, so we have a Paramecium, we have a Iglina. So all these and some other bacteria like that. So they are examples of unicellular organisms. These organisms, they are very small, very tiny in nature, in the sense that you find it difficult at times to observe them directly with your naked eyes. So for us to see this set of organisms, we need to use a powerful microscope to observe these organisms, in the sense that they are micro in nature, and that's why we call them eye. And they have only one number of cells, and this one number of cells is the only cell they are using to perform and carry out all the life activities that other higher animals are also carrying out. It is this one unit of cell that they use to breathe, to feed, to move, to run away from danger, to protect themselves. It is this one unit of cell. So class, today please, we are going to take Amoeba as a sample and check what is Amoeba and what are the things we need to know about Amoeba, the one of the unicellular organism that we have in life. So, and all the 7 life processes take place inside this one cell of Amoeba. All 7 life processes. Remember when we talk about characteristics of living things, so we mentioned them, so that we have a movement, we have reproduction, nutrition, all the characteristics of life. This Amoeba carries it out with the help of just one number of cells in it. So Amoeba are found in ponds and ditches. We mostly found Amoeba in ponds, in water, or ditches. And they Amoeba move by changing their shape. So the moment Amoeba want to move from one place to another, it change its shape. By changing the shape now, it now be able to move or shift from one place to another. So another thing we need to know about Amoeba as a unicellular organism is that the Amoeba use a part we call pseudopodia to aid this movement. So by what? By somersaulting. So Amoeba somersault, changing the form of the body by somersaulting with the help of a part called pseudopodia. So in the direction they want to move and the rest of the cell follows after them. Now, how amoeba feed? Amoeba feed on smaller organisms such as the bacteria. So they feed on smaller bacteria or microbes in the water. Another set of small organisms that are very small. This is what amoeba used to feed on as their source of food. Now, the parts called pseudopodia now try to flow around these small organisms and engulf it. That is, they use this small part now as a kind of a trick. So when these organisms, small organisms come near and they close this pseudopodia to catch them. So this is how amoeba source for their food at times. Now this food is then taken into the cytoplasm in a food vacuum. So the cytoplasm in a food vacuum of amoeba, and other enzymes now come to break this food down for the organism. Now, so how amoeba also carry out what we call breathing. So which has to do with respiration. So amoeba doesn't have nose or mouth. What amoeba use for respiration is the entire body surface. So amoeba respire with the entire body surface. And how is that water diffuses into the body of amoeba with the help of a process we call diffusion. So the oxygen in this water now is what amoeba use for its existence to live its life. And this oxygen passes into the amoeba from the water around by diffusion, and waste substances such as carbon dioxide pass out into the water also through the same surface area, the same, that is body surface, with the same process known as diffusion. So class, let's see the characteristics of amoeba. Let's see the characteristics of amoeba. When we talk of characteristics of a particular thing, we are referring to some features that we need to understand, so that we need to know for us to have a clear understand of a particular concept. Okay, when we talk of characteristics of a human being now, we talk of human being are the higher or the highest animal on earth in terms of in terms of brain ability, because we think other than other animals. It's one of our characteristics. So human being, we always show parental care even more than other animals. Though we have other animals that show parental care, but we talk of characteristics, you are trying to give us a more clear about of a particular thing. So therefore, how can we now know more about amoeba? So this will now lead us to what we call characteristics of amoeba. So as we know, amoeba, one of the characteristics is that amoeba is mostly found in a freshwater pond or pool. So the area, the habitat, common place that we can find amoeba is not in the house, is not in the toilet. No, we find amoeba in the freshwater pond or pool. So this is common places where we can find amoeba. It's one of the characteristics to tell us where can we find this particular organism. We can find amoeba in the water. It's one of the characteristics. Another characteristics of amoeba is that amoeba possesses part called pseudopodia, which is used for movement. Amoeba is having a part we call pseudopodia, unlike other animals. Look at human being now, we have legs to move. The other lower animals like that, their own, what they use to move is not this pseudopodia. But for amoeba, the part used for movement, to aid movement, is pseudopodia, so used for movement. So another characteristics of amoeba is that it does not have the permanent shape. Nobody can tell you this is a perfect shape of amoeba. So amoeba change its shape times to time, because this is the only way amoeba can even move with the help of pseudopodia. Changing shape now, we have amoeba to somersault and move from one place to another. So amoeba does not have a permanent shape. Another characteristic is that the size of amoeba measure about 0.25 millimeter, which means it's very, very small. Not even millimeter. You need to now use microscope if you want to see everything clear about the part of amoeba. And the structure is very simple too. The structure of amoeba is very simple. Another characteristic is that amoeba consists of nucleus and cytoplasm. We all know that all living things contain nucleus, and this is what is control all other part of the body. All the life activities of body cannot be carried out without the help of a nucleus. Nucleus is the center of other part or cell of the body. It's the one that power everything in our body. So amoeba also consists of a nucleus and a part called cytoplasm, which is in charge of food for amoeba, so which are surrounded by cell membrane. Another characteristics of amoeba is that the amoeba is having a cell membrane that protects it. So it's having a copper, just like you are having your skin now protecting your body. So amoeba is having a part called cell membrane that protects it. At the same time, the cytoplasm of amoeba is divided into two. We have what you call ectoplasm and we have what you call endoplasm. So the outer layer of amoeba, the outer part of its body is what we call ectoplasm, and the inner part or the translucent or granular part of amoeba is what we call endoplasm. So ecto and endo. Ecto means outside, endo means inside. So any observable part outside is known as ectoplasm, and those of the one inside is known as endoplasm. So amoeba contains what we call food vacuoles. And these food vacuoles help in the digestion of any food engulfed by amoeba. So the food of amoeba consists of microbes present in the water pond. Remember I said amoeba feed on small insects in the water, and this is what we call microbes. So at the same time, amoeba exchange gases and removal of waste with the help of what? With the help of its own body surface, with the process called diffusion. Also, amoeba, the nucleus of amoeba changes its place anytime amoeba move. The moment amoeba move now, this place or the position of nucleus also change. So class, so this is about unicellular organism called amoeba. So in summary, so we know that unicellular organism with just one number of cells. Examples we have amoeba, euglena, paramecium, and others like bacteria too. And amoeba, as one of the unicellular organism, is a organism that mostly live in the pond of a fresh water. And at the same time, amoeba doesn't have a particular shape. Amoeba change its shape as amoeba move from one place to another. Amoeba also carries out all life activity just like ours with the help of just one number of cells. Amoeba is having a part called pseudopodia, which it used to aid movement to catch these microbes in the water. So please, this is about unicellular organism called amoeba. And finally is that when we are talking about one of the shapeless organisms in the universe, amoeba can also be among the animals that doesn't have a fixed shape or a static shape. So the shape always changes time to time. That's why when you observe amoeba now, in next 5 to 10 minutes, if you observe it again after that amoeba has maybe moved from one place to another, and you observe it, discover the shape has changed. And when amoeba move, the position of nucleus also change. So class, here we just need to know that unicellular organisms, they are also in existence. They also live just like we are living on the earth, but we need to now have the knowledge of their habitat, how they live, how they feed. I'm very sure that you've learned the life of amoeba. So being one of the unicellular organisms and that live in the water, in area of water, any environment of water, and this is what you call an aquatic habitat. So this is where amoeba live, and amoeba, among others, use a part called pseudopodia to aid movement. Amoeba use its own entire body surface for respiration, that is change gases, so through the body surface called diffusion process. And at the same time, so amoeba is very small. It's measured in 0.25 millimeter, very small. For you to observe amoeba very well, you need a microscope. Other way, we can call this organism microscopic organism. So thank you very much. What next for my next play? As you are enjoying this short tutorial, you are welcome. Alright class, thank you very much.